Welcome to Tech Tip Tuesday. In this video we're going to be talking about the Windows 10 Start menu. Now this menu brings two menu styles that Microsoft has used lately together. The left side represents a Start menu we've seen for quite some time where our programs are simply listed, sometimes on their own or in a folder there to the left. And then on the right side we've got these tiles, which we started seeing in Windows 8 and we continue to see them in 8.1. Now we see them side by side. The live tiles are neat because they can display information from the app without having to open it. So you can see here we've got from Washington DC, the weather is cloudy and it's about 45 degrees at the moment. Now if I open the app, I can certainly get a whole lot more information from my weather app, but without having to access it, we have some default information in here simply coming from the Washington DC area. Same thing with OneNote, we can see some info here. And the information changes based on two things. One, what the app can present you, so for example weather or news, and two, what size of tile you're using. If I right click this tile and I go to Resize and I see small, we're going to get less info because there's not as much information or not as much room for the information to be displayed. So we can barely see the city and we can see the temperature. On the flip side, if we resize this and make it wider, we can get even more info. Now we have wind speed and we can fully see the city that it's in. We've got a lot more room, but it certainly does cost us more space in our Start menu. And we can make this even larger. And it's going to have to pull down some more data. But you can resize and tailor these as you see fit to customize your menu and make it more suitable to your needs. So in this case, let's say you're routinely checking the forecast and want to know what's coming up. This large icon size might suit you really well because you can get several days weather right here without having to open the app. You just open your Start menu and there it is. But if you want to see much less or you really just want to know what the current temperature is, you might set it to be small so that at a glance you can see it and move on. Some things I would consider with this menu and the way they've laid it out. One is if you've recently installed Windows 10 or updated Windows 10 to the anniversary update, all the default tiles are almost useless. The menu is very wide, it looks like this, and it's just full of tiles. Here's my first suggestion. Right click every one of them, and unless you use it often, select Unpin from Start, and it will remove it. Do this for all of them, and start with an empty canvas. At a certain point, as you're removing tiles, and then when you unselect Start, let me get here, this is all going to go away. So if I close this and reopen, now there is no tile menu whatsoever. That's fine. This gives you a blank canvas. At this point, start choosing applications that you actually use on a regular basis, the ones you use the most. So for example, since we did a Google Chrome video, I'll select it. You're going to right click it and you're going to go up to Pin to Start. And it's going to bring this section back. Now if you add enough, you will get this wider version of the menu. However, I will say there's a diminishing return on how many icons or apps you pin to this section of the menu. The more you have, you may become somewhat unlikely to use them. The only maybe caveat to that is if you do have difficulty getting the mouse over an icon, maybe making them all larger so they're easier for you to click on or see would make sense for you. But for the most part, you're not going to want to have two pages of really small tiles here. It's not going to be much of a benefit to you. So I'm going to shrink this down. And if we wanted to add another one, say we wanted Microsoft Edge because we want to try having two different browsers up here at once, we can have both of those. Or Notepad. And these are just examples. You can set these to whatever you want. On my daily driver desktop, I have all the Microsoft Office icons at the top. So I have Word and Excel, things like that. And then on the next row down, I have things like my photo editing and video applications and then some utilities. But it's only the things I use the most. because I still have everything over here on the left if I need to get to a specific app that's installed on my computer. It's not that I can't access it, I'm just trying to get the most frequently used items over here on the right. Or in some cases, items that have a live tile that present data that I want to see without opening the application. So this is something that you're going to have to work with, and you're going to have to try a couple different things before you get something that's really going to work well for you. But it is a tool that's built into the operating system. You don't have to pay for it, it's already there, and you can leverage and take advantage of it so that you can use your computer quicker and find the things you want more easily without having to dig through all these apps and things that are on the left-hand side. You can narrow it down to just the things you use the most and only go over here when you need to or you're using something very infrequently. So I hope this helps, and good luck.